Caritas News on the Go, the Social Action Network's news and public affairs online show featuring national newsmakers and our team Caritas from the 85 social action centers nationwide. Live at Caritas Philippines social media channels, Fridays 9 to 10 o'clock in the morning. Caritas News on the Go. Isang napakagandang Friday ulit po sa inyo mga kasama sa ating Caritas News on the Go. Ako po si Jean Ray Henderson at gusto po naming bigyan kayo ng pagkakataon para mag-tour sa buong Asia dahil ngayon we would be able to provide you with updates as to the programs, the priorities, the implementation, and the challenges na kinakaharap din ng mga kasama natin sa Caritas Asia sa iba't ibang mga bansa, lalong-lalo na sa South Asia, na yun ang mga nakasama natin sa ginawang Caritas Asia Regional Integral Ecology Workshop nitong nakaraan lamang ng mga araw dito sa Bangkok, Thailand. Gusto nating simulan ng ating pagbabahagi, walang iba kundi sa Caritas Asia mismo. Kasama natin ang Caritas Asia Regional Coordinator si Ms. Shimray dahil gusto nating malaman ano ba ang gusto nating makuha, ano ba ang kinakailangan natin na maging accomplishment dito sa ginagawang workshops at ano naman ang mga focus of interventions ngayon ng Caritas Asia.
Caritas Asia, in collaboration with many other partners, have been working on ecology, focusing on climate change issue from the past. And this year, in our recently concluded regional conference, our main theme was responding to the cry of the earth and the cry of the poor for building inclusive and resilient communities. So we wanted to have a follow-up of this workshop's recommendations so that the partners, particularly our MOs, can start reflecting and plan out what each one of us can do at our own level. That's the reason why we organize this workshop on integral ecology. And the outcome that we expect from this workshop is we will, in the end, plan a very concrete, feasible action plan that can be implemented by all the member organizations within Caritas Asia in all the sub-regions, and that we will be able to consolidate some of the achievements and good practices from the action plan implementation of our partners. At Caritas Asia level, we will also be doing at the Secretariat certain things that we can do, and we will consolidate these results and we will take on in the years to come. The MOs, member organization in Caritas Asia region, are at different level. Some are very, very strong, and some are, yes, coming up, growing, I would say emerging. And some have a lot of resources in terms of capacities on various thematic issues. The major issues affecting Asia region is migration issue, climate crisis, and yes, we have other socio-political and geopolitical conflicts that is affecting us, causing crisis-induced migration, human mobility. And so there are a lot of capacities with our MOs, and the capacitated MOs can come together and a collective action can be taken up, for example, on migration issues, on integral ecology issues, climate issues, on DRR issues, and there are more issues that we can address together. So we would like to focus on some of this in the coming years, starting from 2024, and this is one of the steps that we have taken so far.
Ang atin pong regional workshop ay dinaluhan ng iba't ibang mga bansa galing sa Southeast Asia at sa South Asia. Sa ibang pagbabahagi po, nakasama din natin ang Pangulo ng Caritas Asia region kung saan ibinahagi niya ang mga paghahanda at ang pagpapahalaga na binibigay ngayon hindi lamang ng Caritas Asia, kundi ng iba't ibang mga grupo o mga organisasyon ng simbahang Katoliko sa Asia para sa mga migrants at refugees, lalong-lalo na nga sa pagkakataon na ito na mas lalo pang nagiging malaki ang epekto ng climate displacement sa mga migrants and refugees at sa iba't iba pang mga vulnerable sectors sa buong Asia na nagiging pagkakataon din upang mas lumago pa, mas dumami pa ang mga nasa mahihirap o nasa lalaylayan ng lipunan. Ito po ang ating pinag-usapan kasama si Dr. Benedict D. Rosario, ang Pangulo ng Caritas Asia.
Okay, I think the issue of migrants or refugee is very important reality in the Asian context. Yesterday, ICMC, FEBC, OSD, JPIC and Caritas Asia had a planning meeting for the observance of World Day of Migrants and Refugees, and this is the first time all these four organizations are coming together for better coordination, collaboration, and also amplifying the voice of the grassroots so that they are getting more attention and care. They are people on the periphery. And then all the issue of climate change, and then also our present kind of approach of synodality, louder to see, which has also kind of a action platform, louder to see action platform. Everywhere we are focusing on people on the periphery. We are focusing on synodality, meaning listening to the poorest of the poor, brothers and sisters of all faith, so that we can be more effective and we can be reaching out them all our efforts, and we can learn from their wisdom, their knowledge, their simple life. So this workshop on integral ecology will be helpful to find out what are our best practices, what we can do more, and how can strengthen our efforts and learning so that in the future we can do more. We can do more advocacy. We can do more intervention at the community level so that our efforts, our impact and sustainability level at community base will be more effective. Well, because of this kind of a climate impact, many countries like India, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Maldives will be mostly affected. Even 1/10 of Bangladesh will be underwater or higher level of water. There are already people who migrated because of sea rise or inundation or kind of a siltation. So there are two approaches. One approach is that they need to be rehabilitated in another place, those who lost houses already. But there is also some other people, no alternative staying there. So there is adaptation approaches. So like they are growing crops that saline tolerant. They are also have floating garden, and that's coming from the community knowledge, community kind of a based kind of a practices. So we are encouraging so that this knowledge can be replicated, this knowledge can be brought into another place. So I think it's a kind of a one option is to rehabilitate in another place. Another option is in the same place, what are the alternate livelihood mechanism? So I think India, Bangladesh, we are learning from each other. From other places also they are learning, and then Caritas Asia can be a forum for that, for learning forum, and also community to community level exchange, and then also we can communicate their plight, their voices to outside of Asia or outside of South Asia to another, say East Asia, who are also extending their support, people living this in vulnerable condition. It's good thing that Caritas and also in general Catholic Church are more responsive, more proactive than before in the areas of kind of a climate crisis and emergency, as well as the people who are living on the periphery. So in the past we were focusing on dialogue. Now moving to synodality approach, which is more listening. In the past we were focusing on basic Christian communities, then we moved to basic human communities, and finally we are also now considering basic ecological communities, which means not only human being but also everything surrounding. So and then even we have to change our kind of a addressing. You used to say people of other faith. Now we say neighboring religion, people with another neighboring religion. So it's a kind of a more respect put on that. So I think based on the Laudato Si, Laudato Deum, and also Fraternal Tutti, we understand this interconnectedness, interdependentness, and also communion and building peace, harmony. So I think yes, we have lots of challenges, but we have also resources, courage, and also attitude change. Attitudes is which is very important, that we are together we can be more and we can build better future. Thank you.
Marami din po sa mga programa natin na madami na ang mga best practices na nangyayari as we speak in the whole of Asia, especially when we talk about climate-smart agriculture practices. Nakakatuwa dahil para itong katulad ng convenio program na ini-implement natin ng Caritas Philippines sa North Luzon, kasama po ang Baguio, Ilagan, ang Tabuk at ang Tuguegarao. And what's best way to learn about these new and proven technologies, lalong-lalo na po yung mga practices ng ating mga magsasaka, kundi sa mga magsasaka mismo. Ito po ang ibinahagi naman sa atin ni Mr. Shintan Manandar ng Caritas Nepal.
Okay, my name is Shintan Manandar. I am head of programs in Caritas Nepal. I have been working in Caritas Nepal for last 14 years, and I am looking at different projects, and one of them is SAFBIN. SAFBIN is a regional project in South Asia. We call it Strengthening Adaptive Farming System and Biodiversity Network. We are working in 5 different countries: Caritas Nepal, India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, and Caritas Bangladesh. So the main objective of this project is we are working with smallholder farmers. We are doing climate change adaptation and multi-stakeholder partnership. So through this project, we are going to help smallholder communities to build resilience to the climate change through on-farm action research in different crops, multi-stakeholder partnerships where the different stakeholders like-minded NGOs, government, research institutes, academic institutes, they are involved, and the very good thing of this project is the farmers are doing research by themselves. We recognize farmers as a scientist because they have been doing several different research from centuries. So now the farmers are working with the academicians and research institutes to find their local solutions of the problems that are being created by climate change and disasters like this. So this is it.
India is always facing huge disasters every day, and one of those organizations always ready to help is Caritas India. Father Anthony Fernandez, the Associate Director of Programs, talks about their programs and how these are related into the integral ecology programs that is being implemented, that is being advocated in the region.
Climate change is a reality, and it's a dire necessity and to do work on this aspect. In Caritas India, lobbying for developing climate resilient communities, which is one of the important aspects we will look into, and especially the recent occurrences of flood, heat waves, and these are the results of our climate change in our country. So as part of the advocacy, we shall start from the affected communities, so that a community-based advocacy is very strong mode of in getting involved with the advocacy, and therefore we will be joining the affected communities which went through last few years, and then develop a strategy to advocate in all over the country for the climate change. The various programs, human development programs, are all over the country that we initiate. So for us, it cannot be a just climate change one aspect, but it should be part and parcel of all the programs, irrespective of child development program or in agriculture development programs. And everywhere in cross-cutting will be the issues of climate change will be discussed. There is the major problem in our country is that regarding climate change is we have floods, regular occurrences of floods. We have heat wave, which is this year it has really raised up to 50 degrees in some of the places. So these and third, the population, number of population, concentrated population. Population is concentrated because of smart city and concept like that have come in. So the populations are concentrated in one place. So which we need to address this issue. Otherwise, the naturally the heat wave and the flood and then drought can be regular occurrences.
Caritas News on the Go, the Social Action Network's news and public affairs online show featuring national newsmakers and our team Caritas from the 85 social action centers nationwide, live at Caritas Philippines social media channels, Fridays 9 to 10 o'clock in the morning. Caritas News on the Go.
I can't feed 5,000, but I can feed one. I can't walk on water, but I can walk in the shoes of another. I can't turn water into wine, but I can turn a frown into a smile. Sharing what I have in my hands is the miracle that needs to be seen today. Every blessing I receive is a miracle that I can share. This is what I can share. This is my Alay Kapwa.
Alay Kapwa, a flagship program of Caritas Philippines by the Catholic Bishops' Conference of the Philippines.
Mapataliserya man o tunay na buhay, hindi dapat nananaig ang kasamaan sa kabutihan. Bawat Pilipino dapat nabubuhay ng malaya, payapa at masagana. Hindi rin tayo dapat matakot na ipahayag ang ating mga hinaing at ipaglaban ang ating mga karapatan. Wala dapat na aapi at dapat lahat ay nagtatamasa ng kapayapaan at katarungan.
Through Alay Kapwa para sa Katarungan at Kapayapaan, Caritas Philippines upholds justice and peace as essential element of faith in action. Meron tayong mga programa, lalo na edukasyon para sa kamulatan ng ating mga mamamayan sa kanilang karapatan at tungkulin, dokumentasyon sa karahasan at paglabag sa karapatang pangtao, legal services para tugunan at buwagin ang mga di makatarungang kalakaran at istruktura sa lipunan na nagdudulot ng walang kapayapaan tulad ng red tagging, extrajudicial killing, harassment, corruption, pag-agaw ng lupa sa mga magsasaka at mga katutubo at iba pa.
Nagsasagawa ang Caritas Philippines ng mga konsultasyon at orientasyon ukol sa Justice and Peace Program sa iba't ibang lugar sa Luzon, Visayas at Mindanao. Sinusubaybayan din natin ang takbo ng ating programa sa mga lugar na to.
Katarungan at kapayapaan sa bawat isa. Ito ang ating Alay Kapwa.
Caritas News on the Go, the Social Action Network's news and public affairs online show featuring national newsmakers and our team Caritas from the 85 social action centers nationwide. Live at Caritas Philippines social media channels, Fridays 9 to 10 o'clock in the morning. Caritas News on the Go.
Financial sustainability has always been one of the major concerns of the Caritas member organizations, especially in Asia. And these are the things that we talk about during gatherings so that we would be able to learn from the hits and misses and successes of our colleagues in Asia. Caritas Bangladesh, an organization with more than 5,000 employees and with over 100 programs being implemented across the country, is sharing with us how they have started doing or thinking about their financial sustainability, how are they implementing the plans, and how are this turning out to be at a time when external funding is dwindling. Mr. Jibon Dash, Program Director of Caritas Bangladesh, is here with us to share their story. Hello, Jibon. Welcome to Caritas Philippines program. So, can you please tell us first, can you describe Bangladesh first to our audience in the Philippines?
So, thank you. I'm Daud Jibon Dash from Caritas Bangladesh. I'm Director Program of Caritas Bangladesh. Bangladesh is a highly populated country. You understand, only 1.5 lakh square kilometer the area, and 200 million people are there. So a crowded country, and the country's people faces frequent disaster every year, and also you know the low land. Bangladesh is kinds of island, especially from China, from India, from Nepal. All the water comes through the Bangladesh and mixed with the Bay of Bengal. So every year 1/3 people faces flood there. So frequent flood, cyclone, and also other natural disaster always there in Bangladesh. And also the political situation is not stable there. It's another problem. So people of Bangladesh are facing lots of challenges surviving their life. And we see, however, Bangladesh with lots of people from Bangladesh, those who stay outside of country, in abroad, in Middle East, in some European countries, they send the remittance and with the garments industry, Bangladesh is now somehow progressing on a progressing track, and the people of Bangladesh, if we consider their socio-economic condition, you will see there are some big cities like the capital of Dhaka, Chattogram, Rajshahi, Khulna. Those produce some industrial atmosphere, and there's some job, though there are huge number of unemployment statistics exist in Bangladesh.
And with all these like challenges or realities in Bangladesh, how is also Caritas Bangladesh responding?
Yeah, Caritas Bangladesh is organization of Catholic Bishop Conference of Bangladesh, and in 1970, especially when big disasters, big cyclone happened, and 500,000 people died in a night, and more than 500,000 houses destroyed. At that time, the bishops, all the bishops, discussed together, meet together, how can we help the people or vulnerable communities, those who are remaining at the coastal. So during that period, Caritas asks for international support, and with this support, Caritas started emergency response work, rehabilitation works, and works on capacity building as well. So from 1967, 1970, and from 80 to till date, Caritas is working all around the country. And at present, Caritas Bangladesh has 6 sectors, which is education sector, disaster management sector, health sector, ecological conservation and food security sector, sector for development of the indigenous community people, and sector for technical capacity building. So with all this sector, Caritas Bangladesh is supporting the poor and vulnerable communities in Bangladesh. So there are about 20 million direct beneficiaries under its around 100 projects.
Wow, that's huge. And in terms of organization, how many staff do you have at Caritas Bangladesh to respond also or to implement all these 100 plus projects?
Yeah, at present, our staff, volunteer, so altogether around 5,000 are working for the community people. And we are now working every corner, every border, hills, close to the coastal.
In Bangladesh. Wow, that's huge, and that's also very fascinating in how you were able to do all these things. And I think in some ways, in more ways than one, except for the differences of our culture, the context, the size, Caritas Philippines also share almost the same programs with Caritas Bangladesh, and which also brings to mind, how are you sustaining all these programs? You have a huge number of employees, huge number of programs, and a huge country. How are you being able to sustain all these programs?
So Caritas Bangladesh started working from 1967, no?
Oh, and just 1 year before, after Caritas Philippines.
Yeah.
Wow.
So at that time, no problem for funds. Lots of donor fund and foreign funds were available from 1970 to 1980, from 1980 to 1990, and also up to 2000. But fund nowadays we see decrease,
very scarce.
In a decreasing trend, and very challenging to work surrounding the country like we did in 80 or 90. Yes. So Caritas started planning how to make the organization sustainable, self-sustainable, yes, self-financed, and our general body already approved resource mobilization policy. So under this policy, there are some guidelines. So Caritas started following the guidelines. Also, in the meanwhile, Caritas established 3 trusts. One is for social business, one is for technical training and capacity building, and one is for training and research. No, we have Caritas works, which actually works with the widow women, and widow women prepare materials with mud and jutes, and the Caritas works export it to European countries like Germany, like Spain or France or some other country, including USA and other country. So they are making profit every year. So from their net profit, they are dividing the profit with the widow women and with the Caritas works itself and Caritas. And
And this is like a social enterprise with the women organizations that you were able to form. And then, just so I understand, from the profit that the women organization would gain, there is a certain percentage that being given also to Caritas Bangladesh.
Yes, every year, last year they provided $1 million of taka from their net profit, and we distributed for scholarship of the vulnerable poor children, for purchasing books, and for continuation of schools program under our regular program. So from the net profit, we actually utilize it for education and for health purposes actually.
So it's not going for the operations of Caritas Bangladesh. It goes straight to the programs.
Straight to
also.
the program. Yeah.
Oh wow! And then Caritas Philippines is our academy. You also have your training center. How does this operate?
Yeah, actually, in our training center, there are diploma programs.
Wow!
There are research programs. There are some consultancy service for other organizations, and also this training center also ensured the capacity of our 5,000 staff members. So they conduct regular training from the project or from by themselves. So they give service to the capacity building of our staff member as well other organizations working in Bangladesh. So our CDI, which is Caritas Development Institute, that works for capacity building for Caritas and other organizations working in the development sector.
Wow. Okay, so there are a lot of things aside from the direct implementations that you're doing with how many dioceses?
Yeah, there are 8 dioceses in Bangladesh.
8 dioceses. Wow. Okay. And but the country also is huge. So you have regional offices.
Yes, we have also 8 regional offices under 8 dioceses.
Okay. Wow. Okay. And then lastly, so talking about sustainability, making sure that our finances as Caritas is there liquid, so to speak. We have these assets. What do you say also, or what's your message to other Caritas organizations, especially in Asia, who are trying to stay afloat with their finances in the light also of, as you have mentioned, our funding partners are also going outside of Asia. We are not anymore their concentration of work. So what's your message to our member organizations so that they would be able to also mainstream sustainability programs?
So nice question. It's actually the main source or resource, what I say, which is human resource, no? So first, every Caritas give emphasis to build a capacity of its staff members, and also select those who are dedicated, who has the service mentality for the Catholic Church. So after bringing them, after capacity building, after getting their knowledge high, they can contribute more stronger. And definitely there are fund crises, but not so we are thinking. So that skilled technical personnel can work to raise those institutional funds, especially from European Union, especially from USAID, especially from BMZ, CIZ, KFW, or other institutional donors, those who are actively doing for development works or funding in this sector. This is first. The second, definitely we have some resources. We have to identify what's our resources. That might be land, that might be our office, that might be our other resource we have. So after identifying that of resources, we sit together to make a plan how we can utilize more wisely, how it can bring more fruits towards organization, and organization be more stronger for their service. So, and also we have CI, Caritas Internationalis, and all the member organization as well. So we can exchange our good knowledge, good practice, or good investment each other. So with partnership, definitely our organization in future will be more stronger and more sustainable in considering finance, considering service, and considering partnership.
Wow. Thank you very much, Devon, for all this beautiful sharing from Caritas Bangladesh. And we are hoping that not only our member organizations at Caritas would learn from this one, but also our dioceses who are we're also trying to establish themselves as sustainable organizations, so that we would be able to also continue doing our programs, implementing our programs to help our community. So thank you very much again, and regards to everyone at Caritas Bangladesh, especially to Emmanuel, and of course thank you very much for this opportunity that you're able to share with us your insights.
So thank you too.
Caritas News on the Go, the Social Action Network's news and public affairs online show featuring national newsmakers and our team Caritas from the 85 social action centers nationwide, live at Caritas Philippines social media channels, Fridays 9 to 10 o'clock in the morning. Caritas News on the Go.
Noong 2021, nakamit ko po ang isang bagay na matagal ko nang pinapangarap. Kahit na noong nagsisimula pa lamang ako sa showbiz, gusto ko na po talaga na makapagtapos ng pag-aaral. Pero dahil po sa kahirapan, marami pong mga Pilipino ang nahihirapang makapag-aral. At hindi po sila dapat mapag-iwanan. Paano po ba natin sila matutulungan?
Caritas Philippines Alay para sa Karunungan aims to help the marginalized children and youth to have access to quality education. Isinasakatuparan po natin ito sa pamamagitan ng dalawang programa. Una, Educational Assistance Program para sa mga academically challenged students. Since 2021, mayroon na po tayong 537 scholars.
Bawat isang scholar ay makakatanggap po ng monthly allowance. At hindi lamang yan, sa bawat 15 scholar, may nakalaang isang mahusay at matyagang tutor.
Pangalawa, Alay Kapwa, Community Schooling para sa mga out-of-school youth and young adults o OSYA. Opportunity to finish basic education, skills training, values formation, and better employment prospects. Ito ang hangad ng community schooling para sa mga OSYA.
In the coming years, palalawakin pa po ng Alay Kapwa ang bilang ng learners sa ating community schooling. Edukasyon para sa lahat, ito at ang ating Alay Kapwa.
Lindol, pagputok ng bulkan, bagyo, Nakunan po ng video ng habang tinatangay.
Baha. Malakas din ang agos ng tubig niyan eh. Madadala ka talaga. Instincts nga na kapag siguro may nangangailangan ng tulong. Lahat ng ito, madalas natin maranasan. At lahat ng ito, kailangan nating sama-samang lampasan.
Sa alay para sa katugunan sa kalamidad, pinapatatag at pinapalakas ng Caritas Philippines ang kakayanan ng mga social action centers sa paghanda at pagtugon sa kalamidad at sa mga emergency situation. Ginagabayan natin sila para makarecover at sa rehabilitation doon sa kanilang community.
Relief packages, wash or water sanitation and hygiene, shelter, livelihood, community formation, capacity building activities. Ito ang mga tulong na ibinigay ng Alay Kapwa.
Itong nakaraang taon, mahigit kumulang sa 200 communities na o 650,000 families o 3.2 million individuals na ang ating natulungan. Sa inyong patuloy na suporta, patuloy din ang Caritas Philippines na makatulong sa marami pang komunidad.
Kapit-bisig sa anumang trahedya.
Ito ang ating Alay Kapwa.
Licas.News, an online Catholic news agency based in Bangkok, has been covering a lot of Catholic churches' activities and programs. Here is their executive director talking to us about their challenges, the thrills that they are having with these coverages, and he also shared with us some insights as to how the Catholic Church and Caritas organizations should also be able to maximize these media organizations for our causes, advocacies, and programs.
Swadika. So with the coverage of the activities of the Church in Asia, Licas.News, we're very much interested in not just showing the finished result, but also all the challenges that had to be overcome along the way. We've really adopted the solutions journalism approach, and the main reason for that is we want people, once they receive the information, to also feel empowered. If it all is all packaged up, it's all finished, of course they don't feel that what they can contribute for the future. So we very much hope that by showing the challenges, the problems, the successes and the limitation, that we have people who are willing to contribute to the mission, not just Catholics but also people from other religion as well. So that's our approach with Licas.News, and I thank you for coming along on the journey. I think with the variety of challenges, we have to ask the question of why an article should be written in the first place. For us, it's very much to support the mission of the Church. It doesn't mean that we just write PR pieces, but different churches have different challenges, different sensitivities, so you can't just put one overarching journalism approach to it. So in some churches, interreligious dialogue is more difficult, so you can't just go in with one way of covering every single thing. I would say ask the question, is it useful, is it helpful, and of course does it help to further the mission, especially for the people who, for example, the Caritas Asia is trying to support. The difficulties is not with us, it's the people on the front line that is difficult, and I think it's really it's our prerogative to do justice to their work, which is why, as we said, we just don't cover the end result, we cover all the challenges along the way, so that it's giving the complete story. Some countries, as you've mentioned, there are activities like red tagging, and in other countries even more dangerous interventions. So we have to take all this into account. I won't describe it as difficult, because compared with the people who are actually intervening, it's really is really something that we're very much not as on the front line as they are. I think with AI, one thing that it cannot have, I refer to the prefect for the dicastery of communication when he said there's no communication without communion, and there's no communion without communication. That is something before you actually write anything, you really want to make sure that you are in communion with the people that you are writing about, whether it's a Caritas mission or whether it's a priest in a mission to support Indigenous people. So I think there's no formula, but as the Catholic media, as Catholic communicators, we need to carry our mission out with humility, to have that communion with the people that we're writing about. And that's something that I don't think AI can do.
Cyclones, earthquakes, landslides, flooding, these are just but few natural disasters commonly occurring and are continuing to devastate Pakistan. Amir Irwan, Caritas Pakistan's program director, also shares with us how they are responding.
Pakistan, a land of over 240 million people situated in South Asia. It is a land with a very diverse cultural diversity, a different background. In the south we have the Arabian Sea, and over the north we have the Karakoram Mountains. As Pakistan have a very diverse culture and background, but still it is very open to the disasters. It is a disaster-prone country, and we are very much open to every kind of natural disaster like floods, earthquakes, cyclones. So it is vulnerable to all the disasters. So and beside that, the political and economic situation in Pakistan is also very vulnerable. In Caritas Pakistan, we are trying very hard, and after every 4 years we have made our strategic plan, and currently we are working on 6 major thematic areas, that is agriculture, food security, DRR, climate change, non-formal education, health and wash. So Caritas is trying very hard, and our basic approach is the social mobilization strategies, in which we are focusing more towards on the community-led projects, where we are giving ownership to the community so that they can involve their participation, ensure their participation, and come out from the social issues what we are facing. Like in our disaster risk reduction, we have made the disaster management committees. In our agriculture food security projects, we have made the smallholder farmer collectives. So that is, you can say, approach in a way that we are involving people so they can decide that what are their problems and what are the possible solutions. So Caritas can play a role in a way that we can build up their capacities. We can be there with them by telling them how we can intervene together for the development of their communities and development of their nations. Another important component, that is our tree plantation campaign, which was started in 2016. During the first 4 years, we have planted 1 million trees. And after that, after our strategic plan, which we have recently completed, we have also planted 1 million more. So within the span of 8 years, we have planted over 2 million trees, and through our different projects and programs, our basic idea is to just adapt to the climate change. We are focusing on improving the nutrition, and also putting our part in that climate change vulnerability aspects. So that is a very multi-dimensional and very fruitful idea which we are implementing for the betterment and contributing to the climate change impacts in Pakistan.
And for the last bit of information that we'd like to share with you in today's episode of Caritas News on the Go, the 10 million Solar Rooftops Challenge is on, and we are calling all stakeholders from the households, private sector, the government, civil society organizations, non-government organizations. This is now our time to bond together and show the world that communities can light up a country using clean energy, one rooftop at a time. Kasama po natin si Bishop Gerry Alminaza, ang Vice President ng Caritas Philippines at ang lead convener ng Eco Convergence para sa balitang ito.
Inilunsad nitong Miyerkules, July 18, ang 10 million Solar Rooftops Challenge na naglalayon na maglagay ng 10 milyong solar rooftop panels sa buong bansa at isulong ang paggamit ng renewable energy. Iniimbitahan sa challenge ang mga individual, mga kabahayan, negosyo, mga organisasyon, simbahan, mga tanggapan, LGUs, national government at mga ahensya na maging kabahagi sa layunin ito. Inanunsyo ng Caritas Philippines ang buong suporta nito para sa 10 million Solar Rooftops Challenge na naayon sa misyon ng simbahan na pangalagaan ng nilikha at isulong ang sustainable development. Nakakuha rin ng matibay na suporta ang proyekto mula sa Catholic Bishops Conference of the Philippines na nagpapakita ng dedikasyon ng simbahan sa pangangalaga sa kalikasan.
I'm happy to share with you for this year's annual retreat of the CBCP and our 128th Plenary Assembly. For the first time, these two main events of the year were held in Mindanao, and it was perceived by the people there as the church coming closer to them. And another meaningful thing is for the first time, we also really spend some time reflecting and reading the signs of the times under the light of the teachings of Pope Francis sa Laudato Si and Laudate Deum. Kaya ang result, we made a unanimous decision to really work for addressing the ecological problems. Na top of the list actually is about mining, destructive mining, also reclamation, and then also plastic pollution, about garbage, and many other things, but all related to the care of the environment. And why are we supporting this 10 million solar rooftops campaign? Mainly to walk the talk. It's part of really living out to our integrity, being faithful to the teachings of our Lord. Kasi more and more, Laudato Si is reminding us that we are all in this together. This is part of God's creation, and we are not just stewards. We are challenged also to care for the environment. And then rather than just react, we want to be proactive. We want to really put into concrete action what we have been preaching. And so we are happy to collaborate because we are now becoming more synodal as church, the power of the we that really want to work hand in hand with the local government units, with the academy, with the civil society organizations, with the different institutions that share our vision of a clean and livable environment. And so we are all out supporting this, and somehow in the CBCP, Caritas Philippines is somehow given the task to really spearhead, to really animate this. But it's all the 85 dioceses plus the military ordinary of the Philippines. We will all commit to implementing this. So to concretize this, of course, we have to start by making our own inventory of like what we did before when we were opposing the 300 megawatts ng San Miguel Corporation coal plant, power plant dun sa San Carlos City. We made an inventory yung capacity ng mga roofs namin, starting with our churches, convents, rectories, seminaries, schools, parish halls, and also residential houses of our parishioners. And we will tie up with several solar companies who will also provide us with various schemes so that this can be affordable, can also be realizable or feasible for various sectors of our community. So, iba-ibang scheme yun. Bale, ang mangyari, like at the beginning, we had a philanthropic person who was willing to really allow us to pay back the cost through our savings from, because we are not paying anymore, so the payment goes back to the payment of the panel, something like that. So we will be engaging several cooperative financing companies to provide some help, because this will require financing also. And then other thing is, aside from the solar, we will also focus on other problems, like the mining, how to really protect our environment against this mining that is destructive to the environment. And it's good because we are doing this now as region, because we have this eco-convergence network. So the bishops, for example, in one region will issue a pastoral letter specifically addressing the concerns, ecological concerns of that particular region. Kasi bawat region iba-iba ang mga concerns. But then there are also other issues na even if we don't have that issue in our region, we say, well, we will make it also our own because we are all in this together. So meron din kaming sooner palabas na even though it is a concern of some regions, it will be a national statement also. Like for example, our concern for the Verde Island Passage, for example. And then one thing na lumabas din sa aming mga sharing is we will be able to do make a template or it's like an environmental scanning. We try to make an inventory. What are the different problems on the environment in a particular local church? And what are the resources available there? So parang magkaroon kung merong organizational or institutional audit, pero din tayong environmental audit, So we in the Caritas Philippines, together with our Caritas Academy, we will come up with like a template to make an audit so that our response is not something reactive only as the issues will come out, but it will be more systemic, because more and more realize that the problem is systemic also. So that's why even the solutions will really be systemic.
Mula dito sa Lungsod Quezon, ako si Leon Pangilinan Jr., nag-uulat para sa Caritas News on the Go.
Maraming salamat po sa muling pagsama ninyo dito sa ating programa at sa patuloy na pagsuporta sa mga programa ng Caritas Philippines, lalong-lalo na ang 7 Alay Kapwa Legacy Programs. Sa mga donors po natin na patuloy na tumutulong, patuloy na nagtatanong, patuloy na nag-communicate sa atin, nagtatanong kung paano silang mas makakatulong pa. Alam po ninyo na nandyan sa ating mga screens ngayon at saka sa iba't ibang mga social media accounts ng Caritas Philippines ang mga paraan para kayo ay makatulong na maipadala sa ating mga community, sa ating mga pamilya, ang mga tulong programa na ibinabahagi po ng Caritas Philippines sa pamamagitan ng ating mga social action networks. Kaya sa ating mga social action centers. Kaya po maraming salamat at patuloy po sana ang inyong pagsuporta at pagpalain po sana kayo nawa ng ating Panginoon. Sa pangalan po ng aking mga kasama sa Communications and Partnership Development Office ng Caritas Philippines, sina Kuya Sai, Kuya Leon at si Guthrie. Siyempre, nagpapasalamat din po tayo sa pangalan ni Father Tito Kaluwag, ang Executive Director ng Caritas Philippines, at ni Bishop Jose Colin Bagaforo, ang ating Pangulo. Ako po si Jean Ray Henderson. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat. Sa susunod na linggo, antabayanan po natin ang State of the Nation Address ni Pangulong Bongbong Marcos. Ito po ang Caritas News on the Go.
Caritas News on the Go, the Social Action Network's news and public affairs online show featuring national newsmakers and our team Caritas from the 85 social action centers nationwide. Live at Caritas Philippines social media channels, Fridays 9 to 10 o'clock in the morning. Caritas News on the Go.
Bilang isang ama, wala akong ibang hiling kundi makita na malusog at masaya ang aking mga anak. Gusto ko, maabot nila ang kanilang mga pangarap. Alam kong ito rin ang nararamdaman ng bawat magulang. Maraming magulang ang hindi masuportahan ang pag-aral at pang-araw-araw na pangangailangan ng kanilang pamilya dahil sa karamdaman o dahil sa kawalan ng oportunidad. May magagawa tayo para tulungan sila. Sa pamamagitan ng Alay Kapwa Expanded Fund Campaign ng Caritas Philippines, tinutulungan natin na maihatid ang 7 programa ng Alay Kapwa sa mas maraming pamilya sa bansa. Anumang makakaya, biyaya sa iba. Ito ang ating Alay Kapwa.
Bilang mga magulang, hindi natin hahayaang magutom ang ating mga anak. At ang mas mahalaga, kailangan sapat at masustansya ang kanilang pagkain. Pero sa pinakahuling pag-aaral, 2.7 milyon na pamilya ang nakakaranas ng gutom. At dahil sa nagdaang pandemya, mas lalo pang dumami ang pamilyang Pilipino na nagugutom. Hindi biro ang gutom, lalo na kung mga bata ang mga karanas nito. 32% o 3 sa bawat 10 bata ang nakakaranas ng gutom. Paano tayo makakatulong para maibsan ang kagutuman ng pamilyang Pilipino?
Tinutugunan ng Alay para sa Kalusugan o Pamilya Program ang pagtaas ng hunger incidence sa ating bansa dahil sa matinding kahirapan. Isa itong holistic at family-based feeding program kung saan nagpapakain tayo ng 300 pamilya sa iba't ibang lugar sa bansa sa loob ng 6 na buwan.
Saklaw ng pagsusulong ng kalusugan ng mga Pilipino ang pagtuturo ng values formation and social transformation. Tinuturuan din natin sila ng sustainable livelihood tulad ng urban gardening. Pagpawi sa gutom, ito ang ating Alay Kapwa.
Lumilipas ang panahon, kabiyak ng ating gunita, ang mga puno at halaman, bakit kailangang lumisan? Sa paglipas ng panahon, kumusta na ang ating kalikasan? Dahil sa climate change, paglaho ng iba't ibang uri ng hayop at halaman, plastic pollution, coal mining, oil spill. Tunay na madilim ang ating hinaharap kung magpapatuloy tayo sa pagsira ng ating mga kabundukan, kalupaan at katubigan.
Alay para sa Kalikasan highlights the importance of ecological protection in securing greener and safer future for every Filipino. Nagsasagawa tayo ng capacity development, advocacy campaigns, at iba't ibang mga proyekto to educate people and push for policies that can protect the environment.
And through Alay sa Kalikasan, Caritas Philippines envisions nurtured natural ecosystems, better law enforcement and policy making, and a healthier nation. Panapanahon ng pagkakataon, may babalik ba ang kahapon?
Pagkalinga sa kalikasan, ito ang ating Alay Kapwa.
Narinig nyo na ba yung salitang food insecurity? Ito yung kalagayan kung saan ang isang tao o pamilya ay walang access sa sapat at masustansyang pagkain. At alam nyo ba na 1 out of 10 Filipino household ay food insecure? At mas mahirap ang isang lugar, mas marami din ang pamilyang nakakaranas nito. Matinding kalamidad, pagkasira ng kalikasan, kawalan ng maayos na kabuhayan. Ito ang mga bagay na nagpapalala ng food insecurity at kahirapan ng mga Pilipino.
Alay para sa Kabuhayan provides sustainable livelihood opportunities to our communities. Binibigyan natin sila ng seed capital at marketing platforms para tulungan natin silang magsimula at magpaunlad ng mga community-based livelihood. Through government and private partnerships, tinutulungan din natin silang mapalawak ang kanilang networking capacity.
In 520 communities across the country, 60,000 families na ang ating natulungan. Meron din tayong community building initiatives tulad ng self-help group formation. At sa darating ng mga taon, palalawakin pa natin ang ating mga proyekto. Kabuhayan na dulot ay marangal na buhay. Ito ang ating Alay Kapwa.